What's going on, guys? I'm Zach from the Lumios Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we will be talking about something that we are always excited for. We know it will never happen, and then we still get upset about when it doesn't happen. Yep, that's right. We're talking about the Battle Frontier. So the last time a Battle Frontier appeared in Pokemon was in the Generation 4 games, Pokemon Platinum and Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Since then, we have had Gen 3 remakes of a gen that had a Battle Frontier in one of their games. Did not get a Battle Frontier, and in fact were teased about one, but never got it. Then we had Gen 4 remakes recently with Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and once again, no Battle Frontier. So, it's probably safe to say a Battle Frontier will never happen for a very, very long time. But we're going to talk about anyways what we think an amazing Battle Frontier would be for Scarlet and Violet. Now, let's just jump in. So, obviously, the thing that makes the Battle Frontier so special is that the styles of the different facilities change up how you battle. It's not like they're just 5 battle towers. No, they're 5 battle towers, but one's a battle tower and the other 4 are these crazy, just different style battle towers. Like they have something off about them, whether it be you randomize health conditions or status conditions or held items or whatever for the Pokemon before the battle, whether it's the battle factory where you rent Pokemon to use, whether you have to participate in one-on-one battles, whether you have to collect points to kind of exchange for held items, or whether your Pokemon will completely do the battling themselves and you have no control over it. All of these things are featured in the Battle Frontier, and that's what we love. We love that different style of battling and just the diversity it adds to the franchise. So, my number one pick for a Battle Frontier facility would be to do a Sky Battle facility. I could just see it as like, you know, some kind of battle facility where you go into a hot air balloon or something, and then you have to battle up in the air, and so obviously you can only use Pokemon that can fly or levitate or whatever. So, obviously Pokemon like Staraptor or Salamence, but also Pokemon like Glalie or Haunter who just kind of float. I think this would be an amazing facility. I think that Sky Battles were really cool, but were also really pointless in X and Y, and I think this would kind of add some fun to them and make them a little bit more useful. Now, another facility that I think we need to see is obviously a battle tower or some kind of equivalent, where it's just your standard battles, 3-on-3s. You know, there's nothing weird going on. There's no limitations other than, like, blocking out the legendaries or the mythicals. You just kind of battle and work your way through. Everybody likes to have that classic one. It's great for testing out teams that you're going to use in ranked battles or against other people. So, we obviously do need to keep that. And then another one that has been seen in both our Battle Frontiers and people love, so I think they'd want to see it again, is a Battle Factory or some kind of equivalent to that, which is a facility where you rent Pokemon and your opponent's Pokemon are kind of randomized instead of these prefixed trainer sets because everybody's renting Pokemon. They're not yours. So I do think we need to see that again as well because, like I said, people really love that. It really spices up the battling to kind of walk into the battle only just receiving your Pokemon and their Pokemon that you've never seen before with movesets, or you didn't own at least, with movesets that you didn't create yourself. Now, another battle facility that I'd love to see is one that does inverse battles. So inverse battles were a thing in Pokemon X and Y and Pokemon Oris, but they have not been seen since. And what they are is it's literally regular Pokemon battles, but everything is flipped in terms of type matchups. So, for example, a fire type normally beats a grass type, yeah? Well, in an inverse battle, a grass type beats a fire type. It's super effective against fire, and fire is weak to grass. So, it just flips it up. It kind of makes you have to not go off of muscle memory. You know, if you have a Charizard out against a Venusaur, you're going to click that flamethrower. but here you would want to maybe go for Earthquake instead. So it's a little more, just messing with your brain, and you really have to kind of get your head in the game and be really focusing on the inverse typings, and I love that. I thought that was really cool, and I was so sad that they did away with that or never made it available for player versus player. While our last Battle Frontier back in Gen 4 only had 5 facilities, I'm going to be going for 6 here just because I love both of these ideas and cannot pick between them. And both of these ideas were inspired by the anime. Of all places, yeah, the anime. So the first one is kind of inspired by the way the Battle Arena, which is a battle facility in the Hoenn Battle Frontier, was done in the anime. In the anime, Ash went to the Battle Arena, and it was randomized what kind of battle he'd have against Greta, the Frontier Brain. So they randomized it to see if it would be 3-on-3 or 2-on-2 or 1-on-1. It ended up being 2-on-2. I think that you could do a similar thing with this battle facility. You would be able to walk in with either a team of 6 or a team of 3 or however it may be, and at the start of each match they'd randomize how many Pokemon of your team you'd be using at a time. So like, for example, we're going to work with 3 just because it's a smaller number, easier to work with. Let's say I go in with my Dragonite, my Lapras, and my Sirfetch'd, and I'm about to face off against a trainer. It'll randomize and say, oh, you're only using 1 Pokemon this battle. So I have to choose between my Dragonite, Lapras, and Sirfetch'd, who will be the best one for that one. The next one, it's randomized. Oh, this one's a 2-on-2. So I have to choose 2 of Dragonite, Lapras, and Sirfetch'd. Which of those 2 will I use? Or which of those 3 will I use? Pick 2 of them. And then maybe it'll be randomized 3-on-3 where I'd use all of them. I think something like that would be really neat and would kind of shake it up and provide different scenarios where your Pokemon may have to overcome it being at a type disadvantage. It'd just be a fun little test of both luck and strategy, which I think is the ultimate Pokemon battling experience. Now my last one is once again inspired by the anime. This actually is not a facility, but kind of a way that the league is always done in the Pokemon anime, or at least it's usually done. The way they do the leagues a lot of the times is they will randomize the field that they'll be battling on, and it can have a huge impact on the whole battle. Like, they've done an ice battlefield, and they've done a grassy battlefield and a rock battlefield, and while that isn't really a big player in our games, I do think they could do something similar with terrain and weather. So before each battle, they randomize what kind of terrain or what kind of weather would be on the field, and they may even would put in other hazards like there's spikes on the field too. And so both you and your opposing trainer are having to deal with spikes being on the field and it being grassy terrain and it being heavy sunlight, and maybe even work it where that is the normal weather throughout the match. So it's not just going to be 5 turns of sunlight or 5 turns of grassy terrain. It is going to be there unless someone changes it. And I think that could really shape things up. I mean, a big thing you see in competitive battling is priority moves. And so if you have the right terrain up, you're not going to be able to use priority moves. If you have grassy terrain up, you're not going to be able to use Earthquake and it do as much. You can use Earthquake in grassy terrain, but it won't do as much. If it's an electric terrain, you're not going to be able to use Hypnosis to put Pokemon asleep. I think those kinds of things would be really neat, and I think it would be very immersive, which is something that I really look for in a Pokemon game. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are my ideas for what I think would be a really cool Battle Frontier in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Again, we will probably not get a Battle Frontier in these games, but I think it's fun to talk about these things and bounce off our ideas for cool battle facilities with one another. So, with that being said, be sure to let me know your ideas for battle facilities in the comments below. I love hearing that kind of stuff. Super excited to hear what you guys think and what your ideas are. And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. If there's a Battle Frontier in Scarlet and Violet, you know we'll be covering it. and we do talk about all things Pokemon here. Until next time, I will see all of you later.